Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. So let's jump straight in here. The first piece of news we have is that the Avatar Legends role-playing game Voyage of the Unity Kickstarter is going to be going live on May 20th. So in about 12 days, just under 2 weeks, we will finally get a chance to kind of lock in orders for this and see what exactly is on offer, pricing, all those sort of details, stretch goals. How this was announced was that some websites, including Gaming Trend here, got the kind of press release style thing for this. It'll run from May 20th until June 19th. So the usual thing with Kickstarters, it'll be active for about a month. So make sure you get your order in there if you are interested. Kind of similar to how Magpie do their pre-orders as well, where it's you mostly get a chance to order it for a specific window and then you'll maybe get a chance towards the end. I assume there'll be some late pledge stuff going on, but again, there's exclusive stuff that's going to be part of this, so you need to kind of get on board kind of quickly. Otherwise, they just go over what the Roku era is, what the Voyage of the Unity kind of is. We already know what that is, of course, because we talked about the RPG books quite a bit. Again, they highlight the difference between the standard edition and the premium edition, but I guess there will be more tiers on the actual Kickstarter. So even the standard edition comes in a decorated slipcase and includes the adventure booklets, a guide for the Unity booklet of condensed rules, and a screen. Now that is content equivalent to like an adventure guide. So I assume the pricing on this is going to have to be on par with that, like 40, 50, 60-ish. Maybe the GM screen puts it maybe slightly higher, but for the standard version, that seems to be probably what it will have to be. Premium edition is where the other stuff comes up, where we get the collectible box, eye-popping art, maps, a stack of master and major NPC cards. That is not legend NPC cards. That's like the other characters, like soldiers and stuff like that. So I'm not expecting maybe characters to be on them. Maybe one or two of the masters might be actual characters, but we'll have to wait and see, because we're of course waiting to see, like, is Ryoshan in here as a legend NPC character? Will she get a master NPC character? I don't really know, because it doesn't mention legend NPC anywhere here. In-world artifacts like the waterbending scroll, official badges, a collection of in-world handouts, flyers, letters, wanted posters, and then this is just some commentary from people at Beetle and Grimm's working with Magpie and Avatar on this project. So yeah, in just about 2 weeks we'll get to this. I think the big thing is definitely going to be pricing, and like if they get the standard edition right and it's on par with the standard release, especially if maybe they do a thing where perhaps the stretch goals turn the standard edition into just a book that's basically the Unity adventure guide. That would be a kind of cool thing to get. Fancier edition based on what we know right now. I don't get the impression that they can really go overboard with the pricing here. The big scroll for the waterbending scroll, I guess, is going to be the big kind of ticket item, but like it doesn't really come across to me like this sort of thing where like this is going to cost like 300-400. Like at most it feels like they can maybe get to 200, just over 200, but they probably might need some stretch goals to get people really invested in the other stuff, especially what the quality on a lot of the other kind of items are in the set. There's some cool stuff, like, you know, it looks like there's currency from the nations that have currency, and some of the map kind of content looks decent, but I'm fascinated to see how this one does, just because it's such a specific book compared to a lot of the other ones, because it's only focused on one era, and it's not Avatar, it's not ATLA or Korra, it's Roku era. Is this going to be blowout? Because typically Avatar Kickstarters do very well, but this one is so specific, I'm kind of wondering how it's going to do. So there's that. Next up, we have finally a look at the Kyoshi novel Ultimate Edition, Collector's Edition set. Now, we've covered this the whole way through over the last kind of week or two, where we just had the listing, then we got the description for the listing, now we finally have the image. So again, it's out October 7th, and here's what it looks like. So again, it is both books in one, so Rise of Kyoshi and Shadow of Kyoshi in one, in a slipcase. I think this is really, really disappointing. Like, I'm actually stunned at how basic this is. Because as you can see, it's literally just the cover for Rise of Kyoshi on one side, and then you can clearly tell that it's going to be the cover for Shadow of Kyoshi on the other side, one big hardcover. The cloth slipcase here is still going to be a box. It's just going to, I guess, have a fabricy kind of texture on the outside, just black with gold foil, and it's got the cutouts for Kyoshi's face, I guess, on either side. That's a bit plain, that's a bit boring. So it feels like every opportunity they had to do something new and unique, they just went in the other direction. Certainly it is a collector's edition because it's a unique version of the books, but the word ultimate I have a major problem with them using, because this does not, from the description, come across as an ultimate edition in any way. Okay, you get the cloth slipcase, great. It has cutouts for art underneath, but the art underneath is just the art we've had the whole time through. Stained edges, I guess the pages on the outside will be gold, maybe. Satin ribbon bookmark, again, I expect it to be probably shiny green or gold, just to fit with Kyoshi. That's all fine, but nothing particularly fancy or ultimate, because nothing in the description talks about the actual content of the books, other than the fact that it will have the 2 novels. Is there any of the extras in here? Does it include the stuff from the exclusive Barnes & Noble editions for either book? Does it include the little booklet from the box set of the 2 hardcovers together? Because if it doesn't include all of that stuff, or any of that stuff, it's definitely not the Ultimate Edition. Because that means that there are, like, nearly every other edition of the book has stuff that has more content in it than this. If you buy the box set, you get a booklet that has more information than this has. If you buy the exclusive editions, you get more info. The equivalents to this are just buying the 2 books individually in paperback or hardcover. And this just has some presentation features. So unless they've just marketed this very badly and have not revealed what's actually in the book, this does not justify a buying decision from me. I'm not right now planning to get this, and I'm not going to take a risk on buying this book if it actually doesn't have any of that extra stuff in it. So I'm going to be waiting and seeing if, like, they ever announce if there is anything more in here, because again, it's 800 pages and the 2 books together don't come to 800. There's not a ton of extra space, but there is space for some extra stuff, and that's the big thing that they're not talking about here. So a bit of a marketing fail on this, but I just think it's a little plain. Again, I think unless you are maybe coming into this where you don't have a physical copy of the Kyoshi novels, in that case, maybe this is a decent option, but as a repeat purchase, absolutely not, at least right now for me. It's just not enough that's interesting for me. Next, just a quick update on Beasts of the Four Nations, the deluxe edition. We do have this image here showing the spine image, and that, yes, it does feature the 6th and final part of the spine image on the slipcases. I think we all knew that this was going to be the case, but after all these years, it is nice to have an image directly confirming that it is part of the set. They have not forgotten about it. I know some people have definitely said that I think that over the years they might have sold their deluxe sets thinking that the set's never going to be complete, and there will be frustration, I think, just as people find out about the book is actually coming in kind of different ways. But it's nice to know that anyone who has maybe held out, like myself, we're finally going to be able to complete the set after all this time. I'm excited for the book. I just think, again, on the marketing front, this is maybe where they're kind of missing the mark a little bit. I think they missed the mark by not having preview pages with the announcement of this, because there's still a little bit of a question about, you know, what exactly is the book in terms of its layout. It's obviously a partial art book, animal encyclopedia, but how much information is in here? What way is it laid out? I really do want to know that sort of stuff, obviously. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, months, we do get that stuff. We're approaching about like 4 months to go as well until this book, and that usually is the range where this sort of stuff would happen. So there's been maybe a slight update to the listing here. Maybe we'll see preview pages added soon. Definitely still wondering about Light It Up, the first Bending Academy book. When's the cover going to be revealed for this? How is this book going to work with regards to preview pages? It'll definitely, I think, get Amazon preview pages at some point, but will it get normal preview pages? We don't really have anything to go off with that. And again, we're approaching about 4 months to go, like actually under 4 months to go for this book. So sooner rather than later, we'll have to find out what exactly this is, and it is a new content release as well. Other than that, there's a few things that are a little bit further off, like Awakening of Roku, of course. We're probably still another month and a bit away from preview stuff for City of Echoes, unless they decide to do an earlier preview. But, you know, we have to wait and see on that. Final piece of news is this. Jeremy Zuckerman posted on Instagram, there's this competition thing that if you kind of donate to this fund, you'll be entered into a competition to potentially win tickets to the concert, ATLA Book 1 vinyl, or Book 2 signed vinyl, which is like, wait, what? Does that exist? Because again, we know the Book 2 soundtrack is happening. It was announced as part of the anniversary press release. It's in there. It just said information on it will be coming soon. So this is the first time in quite a while it's been like officially acknowledged by Jeremy Zuckerman. Now, it hasn't been announced yet. There's no release date. So what's the deal here? I'm guessing the fact that it's included as a prize here means it's basically been produced and it's effectively ready to go. They're just going to announce it at some point soon. It's always funny when stuff like this happens, when like he kind of gets ahead of maybe some of the official announcements by revealing this, because I believe the description in the anniversary press release as well kind of mentioned like it's the digital soundtrack, and it didn't really allude to the idea that it would have a physical release. Plus there's still the question, I think, about, okay, this confirms there's going to be a vinyl release. I assume it will still be somewhat selective and kind of hard to get like the first one. But will the CD release for the Book 2 soundtrack be happening at the same time? The Book 1 soundtrack got a CD release quite a bit after, you know, the initial vinyl and digital release. So is it all going to be kind of together now, or will the CD still be maybe delayed? Hard to say. But yeah, just nice to know that this is a thing that's happening. I'm guessing it will be revealed within the next couple weeks. I can't see them holding it off that long if he's already talking about it, basically. He's probably just, hey, announce it, put out the press release or whatever. So that will be an interesting one to see. But yeah, otherwise, let me know in the comments what your thoughts were on all this stuff here. May 20th for the Kickstarter. Are you going to be getting this one here? What are your expectations for price and sort of what else they'll do with this project? What are your thoughts on how the Kyoshi novel Ultimate Collector's Edition has gone? Are you, like me, pretty disappointed with what it's ended up being? Just feels a little bit lazy as a product at this point in time, more of a cash grab than actually trying to be something impressive. That's my thoughts. The image for the deluxe set here, what are your thoughts on this? Are you still collecting these? Are you maybe someone who has only just discovered this, but now that the set is going to be complete, are you going back to buy the other ones? And of course, Book 2 soundtrack. When do you think it's actually going to hit? But yeah, let me know in the comments what your thoughts were on everything here. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.